Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to take a look at the Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash, the 61st one, and basically how we can beat Broly and all the other bosses. If you want to see how my team builds are for all the other bosses, just skip ahead a couple minutes into the video. I run through all of them at the end of the video, but for now let's focus on Broly. As you guys know, Broly as a boss is immune to stunning. He has a special AoE normal attack. He raises his attack and his defense on his super attack, but his super attack hits very hard. You're not going to want to be hit by his super attack in any way, shape or form. So the number one mechanic that you have to rely on is sealing. Now, as I showed you, there are a couple sealing options under the AGL side. On the super side, we have the Super Saiyan Goku, we have the Goku Narale, we have the Margarita, and we also have Paikuhan, who can perform a one-turn seal. It's important to understand that Paikuhan's seal is only one turn. Goku and Narale also only seal on their 12 keys, so that's something also very important to understand. On the extreme side, if you're looking to go that way, you're going to be a lot more reliant on units like the Deborah and Babidi, who can seal on their 12 key, and also you have the Dr. Wheelo, who seals on this 18 key. It's fine to go for either build depending on what you want to roll with. I just find super is always a bit easier because most players summon on super based banners. You don't need to have AGL Gohan or Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but you do want to have as high a possible AGL lead, so Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, potentially one of the two of these LRs as well, so whichever way you kind of want to work it out with. Yeah, basically. Now in terms of like the just in general kind of functionality of the team and everything, prioritizing stunning is super duper, or sealing, sorry, is super duper important. But obviously you want to avoid damage. Remember that the Goku and Narale have 30% damage reduction as the first attacker in a turn, but if they get hit first they can still take a fair chunk of damage, but they're pretty good to go with the first slot attack if you get them there. Margarita as well can also dodge. Once you built up some lower attack stacks, you shouldn't really have any major problems taking out Broly. You should be able to get rid of him pretty fine. If you've faced Broly before, you should be used to the kind of mechanics that you need to take him out. It shouldn't be that big a problem, but at the same time, of course, it is something to be aware of, basically. But outside of that, essentially super duper easy stuff. Honestly speaking, I think for me the big ticket here is to have Goku and Narale, etc. I think once you don't have like enough stunners, I think you do tend to struggle a little bit, at least from my perspective. It's definitely something to be aware of, and I think it's something that you have to a certain extent, make sure you have in your team. If you don't, you're going to struggle. It's not going to be a good time. It's really just basically not so great. Obviously, from that side or that side of things, I think, most things are pretty good. But yeah, other than that, pretty simple stuff. I'm very, very happy with the team and the team in general, and I think you should be able to make this work. There's quite a few free-to-play options here in this team. Of course, replace them if you want to. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, essentially you should be on top of things. I think, at least from my side, I don't see it being a massive hurdle. I think AGL's got quite a lot of options on extreme and super side. I think it's got more than enough to make things work, so I think you should be good to go. At least that's from my perspective. Just remember to bring some attack lowering. You don't want to be in the situation where you've sealed Broly but you're still taking a lot of chip damage, so bring some attack lowering, give yourself a good kind of baseline floor to work off of, and I think you'll be pretty good, at least from my side. Of course, to each their own, but yeah, from me I think it's definitely something to focus on and prioritize. But yeah, we're going to finish them up here and then we'll run through all the other bosses. So yeah, if you were waiting for that part, here you go. You're basically here. It's a pretty simple, yeah, pretty simple run, I can say. So yeah, obviously one thing I will say is with Goku and Arale, please remember the 12 key. It may not sound like a big deal, but the thing is like if you don't get the 12 key, you're gonna miss that one seal, and like if you don't get the cycle going, it becomes significantly harder, because then you're always at risk of taking the super. Of course, you can't control it sometimes, so you will just have some bad luck and maybe not have a sealer in your first rotation, get supered, and then it's kind of like game over. But yeah, that can happen. It's just one of those things. Now, yeah, we finished Broly, all good, done, sealed, and delivered, and now we obviously need to go through all the rest of the bosses. Pretty simple stuff. For the most part, I don't think any of the bosses are distinctly difficult. Chaozu can stun your units. It's not anything too crazy. We use here a variation of the Team Bardock team. Vegeta as well. He's immune to stunning. He lowers attack, but nothing too crazy. We use a variation of the Ginyu Force, just saving into Captain Ginyu for later. So yeah, pretty simple the first two. Tech Frieza, he's immune to stunning, he's immune to attack lowering, defense lowering, and he will lower your attack. Tapion is exactly the same. For Frieza, obviously super in team, quite nice. Some good free-to-play options here. Giru's a great free-to-play sealer, try and grab him. And then against Tapion as well, obviously running a tech team, pretty good stuff. Free-to-play sealer is Salsa, Demon God Salsa. You can also use the Dodoria and Zarbon. They're a one-turn seal alongside Frieza, but you should have enough. You should have enough to give it a good go here. Then we have Goku. This is where things get a bit rough. Extreme Strength does not have a lot of sealing options. I would suggest running a Super Strength team. Goku is immune to stunning, defense lowering, attack lowering, and he massively lowers your defense, which is a huge problem. Either go Brute Strength, Extreme Strength, like I have a bit here, trying to incorporate some free-to-play units, or just make a second Super Strength team. It's probably for the best to do that, and then just split your sealers on that team, because you have way more options for sealers on the Super Strength side than the Extreme Strength side. At least that's my priority on it. Then we get to Gohan. Gohan is immune to stunning, of course. He can evade your attacks, and he does the same by lowering your defense. Here, bring multiple sealers. Obviously, you should usually, but here, try and bring extra. This team worked very, very well, though. Obviously, super duper great, functioned really well, and was quite solid. There's a pretty good number of free-to-play units in here, so it worked out pretty nicely. Against Bojack, he's immune to stunning, attack lowering, defense lowering, and he raises his defense for one turn when launching his super. Here as well, Captain Ginyu, the Babidi, both came in handy with sealing. The rest are all pretty strong. Super 16 is a great tank, so we didn't have any real major issues here. Your big thing is just getting off that first seal. Then Gotenks is immune to stunning, can evade your attacks, he can fire multiple super attacks, and he can stun you. Here, basically, we went for, obviously, super tech, but we had some great options. Lots of sealers. We have 3 of them there, Oolong and Launch, Roshi and Tien, and obviously Jackie Chun. And then the rest of the team just kind of, floated around. Oob is great, providing heals if you need, although we didn't need them, it was pretty straightforward. Yeah. And then finally we have Super Boo, who can evade attacks and heal, as well as also can stun you. Here, if you do miss the evasion, try and bring a sealer so that you can obviously seal him if you miss the stun, and vice versa. It's just a bit of coverage, and try and bring 2 or 3 stunners if possible to obviously also counteract him potentially evading. Stunning is very effective because it stops him healing. However, sealing stops his super attacks, which are also very important. So bring both. It's much, much more effective to bring both and lower your damage a bit and try and actually keep them locked up than it is to prioritize just straight damage. Although depending on how strong your team is, of course, you can. And that's it from me. That should cover all the bosses, and yeah, I think this is the second to last one. So yeah, that's basically it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.